Hello, and we are back. So you may have noticed I did a rebrand. I'm now Mix Monkey, which is fun. It's kind of combining the Spider-Man aesthetic with sort of a Miss Marvel kind of thing, while sort of wrapping it in a whole little bundle of me. So yeah, I hope that's fun for you all. Cool. Let's just get into it then, huh? The game began with a 3,500 point in chip for each man. House chip come in two sizes, small and large. The one who was winning died, was victim. For last hand, defendant play with all chip on table and lose. The moment loss was decided, defendant grabs bottle from table and...
Indeed. Looking at this picture, it does seem to be a one-sided game.
As the court knows, poker was the defendant's life. Failure must have been a bitter pill to swallow.
How many times have I heard those words? I've done it in a fit of anger, Your Honor, and now I regret what I done. Oh, a common tale, but true.
What British, Cockney school... I done it, Mr. Judge, I didn't mean to do it, but I did it. What is this, Great Ace Attorney? Nah, mate, nah. He thinks the judge watches too many old courtroom movies. Mr. Wright said he hasn't lost in 7 years, so this testimony must be wrong. I still wish the eye slot thingies were bigger, you know? It's, Anyway, let's keep going. Are those the usual starting points? Were any special rules used? No, not special. Usual game, usual rule.
If each man began with 3,500 points, then the total would be... No, 7,000 points.
Please, this is not calculus. It's not even long division. That's a bit of a suspicious ... Hey, curse stuff? Alright, wait, fuck. I'm a professional, guys, I swear. Are the chips in this photo all the chips that were used? Of course. Something's fishy with these chips. Should I press harder? Let's do it. I don't know at what point, there's 2 points I can actively think of where you're not supposed to press harder. Oh no, actually, maybe more 3 or 4, still. Well, maybe you could explain a bit about these chips. Explain? What is there to be explained?
Poker chips are poker chips. They're not fish and chips. Not a chip of the old block. Not a motorcycle cup.
Yeah, thanks. Right, now that I've pressed her, I better ask something. What are these chips worth? Are they in dollars or rubles, even? Nietaj, as I have been saying before, it was game, not gambling. The hard perhaps for capitalists to understand. Yes, based Olga, let's go, baby! 2 type of chip, 100 point chip and 1,000 point chip. It is not money, da. Justice. Sir, don't you find her comment interesting? In more ways than one, sir. I'd have it added to this testimony myself.
Well, does the defense want to
add the witness to the testimony?
Does the defense want the witness to add to her testimony?
And again, there's very few occasions. I mean, sometimes you'll get, wrong sentences you're supposed to avoid adding, but, in general, just fucking do it. Yes, I do think this deserves further scrutiny. Add it to the testimony. Oh, I wish I knew where I was going with this.
Very well. Witness, if you would be so kind.
Your Honor. One kind of chip is worth 100 points, other kind is worth 1,000. 2 kinds in all. So I think the contradiction is ready to go. I'm gonna press the other statements, but do you know it? Have you got an idea of what it might be? Probably. But we'll see. Mr. Gavin said this testimony is important. To be honest, I have no idea why.
Mr. Justice, do the court a favor and think of what you want to say before raising your hand. We are not in kindergarten.
Sorry, I'm fine! Oh god, I better think of something to ask. And quick! The 2 types of chips. No. The small ones are 100 and the big ones 1,000. Right? Right? Yeah, of course.
Ha! Don't waste our time. Ha!
Flicks hair. I love that so much. I'm gonna adopt that.
Is that all?
Yeah. Great. Mr. Gavin made me stop her, and now I'm the one who looks dumb. Oh, Justice. Please try not to embarrass me like that. Huh? Who? What? Me? There is a clear contradiction in the evidence you have in your hand. What? It's a simple matter of calculation. Go on, try it. We are not in kindergarten, after all. Calculation? Maths? Numbers? Ah! The idea of Apollo having a deathly fear of I was going to say addition, but I think it's all forms of maths at this point. But yeah, no, Christoph is right. There's a fairly clear contradiction here, but we'll get there. You're telling me that Mr. Wright, undefeated for 7 whole years, was losing?
No, it must have been most unlucky day for him. I am glad I did not take other picture of him. It would break a camera, certainly. The chips, they weren't always to victim side of table.
So you're telling us it was a one-sided game?
Da, one-sided and...
Last hand? I actually couldn't see what that said. My cat is currently in the middle of the screen. Okay, no, it's fine. She's moved. Goodbye.
It was largest points of any hand. The defendant's hand, it was excellent. He tried to use to take victory from behind.
It appears that both the defendant and the victim's hands are in this picture. That is truly an exceptional hand. However, so is the victim's.
One with highest number wins, so defendant lose.
The victim, Mr. Smith, had a stronger hand than the defendant and crushed him. I believe that explains what occurred next.
Once card laid down on table, it happened.
And what happened next?
Even to think of it now, I shake and tremble. Da, I did not believe such thing would happen.
What such thing?
Please, you must believe, I had no idea. How could such thing occur?
What such thing?
Niet. The defendant had been hitting victim. Da, I saw it all happen right before me. I saw bottle coming down on victim's head.
Decisive, isn't it, Your Honor? My witness saw the very moment of the crime.
Remember, your first goal is to gather information. Yes, sir! Look out, contradiction! Here comes justice! I love saying that. Just, here comes justice. What great. It's so anime. I fucking love it. Okay, where are we at? Present. Objection! Did you figure it out, viewer? Yeah, you probably did. Probably once I was like, yeah, no, this is an obvious contradiction. Or just for the fact it's an obvious contradiction. Either way, good job. You're sure it was the victim who won? Absolutely sure.
Seems our new attorney is a bit confused. A glance at the picture is enough to tell you who won, if you're not in kindergarten.
Just for safety's sake, could you explain the problem to the court?
Of course, Your Honor. In this photo, I see small chips and I see large chips. So tell me, Which were worth 1,000 points?
Why, the big ones, of course. Duh.
Oh, I thought so too. But then, the totals don't add up.
The totals?
Let's review what the witness has told us. Each man started with 3,500 points in chips, and the combined total value of the chips was 7,000 points.
Yes, if my calculations are correct. Let's see. 3 plus 1 carry the 5.
Judgy, how did you become a judge? Dude, this guy. I'm convinced that he did not have, like, the usual aging process. Like, he was born, became a toddler, and then just aged 70 years. That's my theory with the judge. They are, Your Honor. Now, look at this photo that allegedly shows all of the chips. If the big chips are worth 1,000 points, and the small chips are worth 100, and you add them up...
How much is it?
Do it yourself, you aren't in kindergarten. Are you? 10,600 points. The chips don't add up. This clearly contradicts the witness's testimony.
But why? How could this be?
Exactly, Justice. Now that you know the what, you must determine the why. Right. There's only one possible way to explain this contradiction. Wait, what? I have forgotten what the contradiction is. I'm just gonna guess. Each man began the game with 3,500 points. If all the points are indeed shown in this photograph, then there can only be one answer.
Well, what is it?
The value of the chips was the other way round.
What?
Want to know what I think? The small chips were worth 1,000 points, not the big ones.
Madness! Utter madness!
Show me that photograph of the chips again. There are 6 small chips and 10 large chips. Why? That does make 7,000 points when you add them up.
Good job, Judgy. I saw you with that calculator under your robe, though. Don't lie. Excellent work, Justice. It's almost as though you figured it out by yourself. Well, I'm just glad I was the one who said it. And fuck you, Christoph, you hot motherfucker.
But wait! The value of the chips may be different, but that changes nothing!
Indeed, the victim did have the larger number of chips still.
Oh! Exactly. If the small chips are 1,000 points, and the large chips are 100, let's do a little math. Add up the points for each side of the table.
Oh!
Sorry, just instant pain reacting to anything is so fun to voice. Just... Oh fuck, I forgot the line.
4,100 points!
Well now, it seems that Mr. Wright was winning that night after all.
That's impossible!
My client had even less reason to kill the victim. After all, he was winning!
Yeah!
Now, Miss Orly, you must have known the true value of the chips, since you were there at the scene of the crime, weren't you? Here we go, baby.
Order! It appears our defendant has lost his motive, and Mr. Wright's supposed defeat never happened. Excuse me, what is it, Miss Orly?
I did not want to be saying this, but actually, you see,
See what, Miss Orly? What do we see?
in the last hand there was cheat.
A cheat? You don't mean a trick?
What do you mean? A scam?
They're all the same thing! love this game so much. There's so much humor, and also just like, I don't know, the tone of this game I think is so well balanced between the sort of esoteric and the wacky, and also just kind of like the raw kind of drama of it, you know. I think that's Ace Attorney's biggest strength, that kind of gets lost in Ace Attorney 5 and 6, is, yeah, the ability to kind of have both in hand and not really lose one in favor of the other. I feel like, you know, that's a whole info dump for another time.
Yes, there was cheat in last hand. That is why I gave ends the chips as they are.
Great. Just great. First we have lying, now cheating.
Well, this case certainly has taken a turn for the interesting.
Witness, you will please testify to the court. Tell us about this cheating in the final hand.
Quick water break. Just gonna heal real quick. Well, excuse me. Alright, let's go.
In last hand, both men had a full house. There is 4 of each card in deck from ace to king. If you look at both men's hands, cheat is more obvious. The next moment, the game becomes argument. The defendant's trick was exposed. He took a bottle in his hand. Poor Mr. Smith.
Miss Orly! Why did you not tell the court about this in the very beginning? I thought I smelled a cover up here. Well, folks, it's time to throw back the covers.
A full house is a very high-scoring hand. Not easy to make in my experience as the poker head of courtroom number 3. Definitely not a nickname that was given to me very meanly by some teenagers outside of the court who saw me trip over.
Oh, shit. All these, freaking deep voices. Give me one sec. Oh. There we go.
That alone is enough to suspect the less than scrupulous tactics.
Mr. Gavin, what's a full house?
Lawyers these days, you don't know your poker?
I can't say this bodes well for your case or career.
What is this? Some kind of secret court poker ring?
Justice, you know the terms 1 pair, 2 pair, and 3 of a kind, yes?
Yeah, no problem. 2 cards with the same number makes a pair, and 3 makes 3 of a kind.
Good. Now picture a hand with 1 pair and 1 3 of a kind. That is a full house.
That doesn't sound very easy to make, does it?
You can see each player's hands in this photo.
Wow, they both have full houses.
We forget, there's an easy way to make a full house and go undefeated for 7 years. You cheat.
The defense may cross-examine the witness.
If he did cheat in the last hand, that still leaves one important question. Mr. Wright lost that hand. Who's ever heard of a professional con man losing when they cheat?
I feel like that would be my vibe as a con person. I would go in with the ultimate confidence and then just kind of give them money and then walk away. I don't know if I've ever been like hustled before, scammed, because like I think it was like Berlin or something, and I'm so autistic. I just get carried away, and if someone's like, "Oh, look, I'm gonna do a magic trick. You need to give me money," I'm like, "Why would I suspect this? Here you go." Like, I don't know what it is, and so I got hustled. It was like the whole like 3-card trick, and you got to pick the card that the guy's hiding, and I did not pick the card. I lost my money that day, and my ex-friends, they were very amused by this. I, however, was like, "Oh, I'm depressed and not aware how autistic I am." But, you know, a memory's a memory, even when it sucks. Oy. Okay. What do you got?
Just how hard is it to make a full house anyway?
It is quite hard, though. It is making a pair and 3 of a kind at the same time.
Yeah, I guess that's right.
Very difficult to be sure. You can take my word as the poker head of courtroom number 3.
Very difficult, but is not impossible.
Okay, full house, hard. This line of questioning, waste of time. Hold it! 4 of each card, you say?
There is 1 spade, 1 diamond, 1 heart, and 1 club for each card. It is interesting fact that this number 4 comes from the number of seasons.
Huh, you don't say.
Oh, and did you know that the cards are numbered 1 to 13? Add all the cards in the deck and you get 364. A year.
Huh, you don't say. Isn't that 1 day short?
That's why each deck has 2 jokers. They say the second joker stands for the leap year. Thus, you have a perfect representation of the year, all in a deck of cards.
Huh, you don't say. We're gonna be in this courtroom for a year if it keeps going on like this.
Oh, this game's so whimsical, I love it. And like, weirdly foreboding too, I don't know what it is. It's just such a different tone with this game. I don't know what I feel like they really managed to capture like the kind of, I don't know, with the music and everything. It reminds me of like Case 2 in the second game. You know, when you're in Korean Village and everything just kind of feels, I don't know, when you're in the channeling chamber, just things feel so spooky and eerie and you're not quite sure of what's happening. There's things, machinations beyond what you can imagine, but oh, I don't know.
Hold it! How was it clear?
Well, the defendant, he played 5th ace.
A 5th ace?
I still remember both hands very well. Mr. Smith's hand has 3 aces. And Mr. Wright's 2.
Obviously, cheating was afoot. Or perhaps I should say, a hand.
I could see Winston just like turning and looking at the first like femme presenting person he could find and just winking at them after this, and them just being like, dude, what?
Your Honor, perhaps this can be added to the testimony without Mr. Payne's joke.
Very well.
Oh god, that.
I did a very good impression of you there, Winston.
Yes, you did, Your Honor. I was like, what? Is that me?
Oh, it was not Winston, it was me.
What am I saying?
Very well. The witness will add this detail to our testimony, please.
Mr. Smith's hand has 3 aces and Mr. Wright's 2. There's 5 aces in the oil.
Let's just have a little quick look around at this. Do we have any other evidence? Nope, we don't. Nope, that's not what I want. Is there something that? Because I wanna bring up the 2 decks of cards situation, but nothing will do it. Let's just press.
Hold it! A 5th ace?
It should not exist, no? I still remember both hands very well. Mr. Smith's hand has 3 aces. And Mr. Wright's 2.
Well, where did this card come from, then?
Perhaps we should ask the defendant that very question. Adding cards to a deck is less serious a taboo than forging evidence in a court of law.
Now, perhaps it's time for you to say something, Justice.
You bet! I have no intention of staying quiet. Not me, no sir, not with these cords of steel. I'd better find some contradicting evidence. Fast! Hold it! Do you recall what the men were arguing about?
I believe so. The victim, he shouts, "You are cheater!" And then the defendant shouts something like, "I have objection!"
Shouting objection, eh? Old habits are hard to break. First he bluffed his way through the courtroom, now he bluffs his way through life.
Objection! However, Mr. Wright lost the hand. That seems to cast a shadow of the doubt on Mr. Smith.
Humiliation from losing even when cheating. That is what set fire to defendant's heart.
So what did the flaming defendant do next? Jesus Christ.
Everyone in this courtroom is so gay. Prove me wrong. You can't. You can't do it. Jesus Christ. Oh.
By bottle! Are you referring to this?
Ah, the defendant chooses this bottle to... Oh.
This behavior is an admission of cheating by the defendant.
But why use a grape juice bottle?
Didn't you listen to me in episode 1, Judgy? I told you. It's Shutakami's favorite drink. Come on, catch up. What's your backlog like? Come on.
You'd be surprised at what can be used as a weapon.
This juice is a recommended drink of the Bush the Bowl Club. Ah. This year's vintage is remarkable for hefty flavor.
Hefty enough to brain a grown man, apparently. First he says it was a serious competition, and now she says there was cheating.
Justice, notice anything odd? The testimony keeps changing. Now she says the defendant cheated.
Actually, yes! I had noticed that.
Let's get the truth about this cheating first, shall we?
Right! Leave it to me!
Okay. Let's just...
Objection!
Yeah.
It appears the witness is mistaken.
Mistaken? But my name...
Look, this piece of evidence clearly contradicts what you said in your testimony.
That's the photo of the trips, is it not?
Justice, perhaps you ought to explain your point in the way that the judge can comprehend. In other words, use your finger to point out your point.
Yes, please point out the contradiction in this photo. What particular point contradicts the witness's testimony?
I actually can't remember what the testimony is. What am I saying? 3 aces and... Well, there's bloody 4 aces in it, like... What?
Miss Orly, in your testimony you made the following claim. Mr. Smith's hand has 3 aces and... But as you can clearly see, the victim's hand held only 2 aces!
Well, maybe the victim, the witness, I'm confused. Maybe the witness was confused as well. Perhaps it was the defendant's hand that held the 3rd ace in question.
Objection! Take another look at the evidence. As you can see, the defendant also had 2 aces in his hand. Where's this 5th ace? I see cheating alright, and it's going on right here in this courtroom!
2 aces in each player's hand does make 4 aces total. Hardly proof of cheating.
Wait, please! It is true, I have seen it! The 5th ace! Is that what's cheating? I swear to you!
That's odd. She must be lying, and yet she's the most sincere I've seen her all day.
It's your right to trust your instincts.
Mr. Gavin?
Who knows what lies in store for us in the trial ahead? Your Honor, if I may, I have a suggestion.
What might that be, Mr. Gavin?
If you don't mind, perhaps we might examine the actual cards.
The cards?
Mr. Payne,
Yes?
the players' hands that night were set aside as evidence, were they not? The defense would like to request the cards be shown to the court.
Very well. The prosecution will submit this evidence, which you will examine. The victim's cards or the defendant's cards.
If these cards don't prove cheating was going on, nothing will. Now, which of these hands is more suspicious?
Right. I think we're going to leave it there, folks. Thank you so much for being here, as always. Stay gay, leave a like, drop a comment, share, subscribe, do all the good things. Much love, and we will catch you later. Bye-bye.